welcome to my lair. I'm doing a video that's a little bit different. This is a commentary coverage, but we're going over a video instead of doing a whole essay. I've never watched this video. I watched the original video. This was actually re-uploaded because he got a lot of criticism and he took down the original. So this one's longer than the original. Let's watch.
Let me start off by saying that YouTube can be a very, very profitable platform if you play your cards right. There are respectable ways to make a living from this platform, and there are less respectable ways. This results in sort of metas that creators follow. Some of these require a lot of work. For example, in 2021, when icebergs dominated YouTube, a lot of creators started making videos in that format, and were very successful for it. However,
I actually really like the iceberg videos, specifically Wendigoons, and there was ones that went like very deep into a lot darker subjects, and I watched those because I wanted to get myself a lot more educated in a lot more areas of life.
to make a good iceberg video, a lot of research and effort was required, leading to a lot of people to hop onto the bandwagon, only to produce some pretty decent content. Granted, there was a lot of terrible iceberg videos, but overall the format was pretty good. However, recently,
Somewhere in the best
of content has become incredibly profitable. However, not unlike other trends, these videos have zero value in entertainment, information, and quality generally. This is YouTube's slop problem. There are a lot of different types of slop that succeed on this platform. Most of you are likely familiar with content farms that produce content for children with little to no value.
We didn't need that right at the beginning of the video. That is a critique. Yeah, there is a problem with misinformation in slop because a lot of them do upload their videos way too quick before good information is out, and then bad information spreads like wildfire.
And in many cases, these videos are straight up inappropriate and expose their young audiences to some pretty messed up stuff. However, that is not the subject of today's video. Drama is something that people are inherently drawn to. It's in our nature to seek out new and exciting information regarding scandals and controversies. Mainstream media has known this for decades and has heavily profited off of it. This is no different on YouTube, and it has been.
I can't say much because, I make drama videos, so.
For a really long time. However, things haven't always been this oversaturated. Back in the 2010s, drama channels were huge on YouTube, but mainly people went to the big channels as their sources. Channels like Scarce and the infamous Drama Alert were the two titans of YouTube drama commentary. Beneath them were commentary YouTubers, either leafy clones or white guys with annoying voices and a face cam. Things remain.
Leafy I wasn't a particular fan of. This is I'm Alex, who's actually not that great of a person. You can go see many videos about him. I don't have any made.
This way for a while, with a very consistent formula for the way the information is spread. Generally, the big two would release some breaking drama, which would then trickle down to commentary creators, which would then trickle down to the facecam commentary creators, who generally put a bit more time into their editing and scripts. There were definitely many moments where misinformation was spread and believed to be fact, but generally narratives remained pretty consistent.
I don't see particularly how a lot of this is slop because some of these do have a lot of editing involved in it and a lot of research involved in it, which takes effort, which doesn't make this format particularly slop. So I don't know why you kept that in. I'm pretty sure that was a critique in your first one.
There was a lot of slop at the time. However, YouTube wasn't structured in a way that was so directly built for benefiting this kind of content. However, this entire ecosystem changed in 2020 when the world locked down and suddenly everyone had a lot of free time. This led to tons of people trying their hand at making YouTube videos. Many people attempted, and many succeeded, with there being almost a baby boom of content creators who hit it big during lockdown, and continue to create videos to this day. Now, this may seem like a good thing, right?
I wasn't actually uploading during the lockdown, surprisingly. I do want to mention, though, I have 3 big videos coming out. Well, 2 short videos, 1 other short video that I plan, and then 1 big video, so.
YouTubers means new, unique talent. Tons of unique people who can provide a unique perspective, ideas, and content style that sticks out among the rest, right? Right? Well, Sure, a lot of people fit this criteria. However, many creators have fallen to create commentary slop.
And it doesn't take some galaxy brain genius.
Man with 300 million subscribers, he's got a burger business, a chocolate bar company. Yeah.
You calling out Moist Critical and the turkey? Come on, dude. And Pyro? Not Pyro.
I think we might actually have the first YouTube scholar on our hands here.
Commentary slop can best be described as low-effort, frequently uploaded content that covers modern events and incidents. Like the old Leafy is here in pyrocynical days, these videos often feature video game footage with minimal editing when needed. These videos are often hard to tell apart from each other from the rest, as generally the only unique aspect of them is the creator and their personality. The actual content itself is very cookie-cutter. Another genre of commentary slop.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of a genre. Most of it is cookie cutter. When you have other people who are thinking more outside the box, typically that's referred to as alternative. And then sometimes alternative becomes a new genre or a subgenre.
Stream clips. These stream clip videos generally consist of a content creator who's already grown a sizable audience on their main channel, where they put a lot more effort into their content. This has led them to grow a loyal fan base who will just kind of watch anything they do. This leads them to live stream either on Twitch or YouTube. Those streams, who are then often multiple hours in length, get chopped up into different segments per topic, given some minimal editing, and then shipped out as a fresh video. I actually have a personal example that I'd like to use. On June 25th of 2024, I released a video about the word unalive and the absurdity of self-censorship. Since negativity thrives on this platform, the video did really well and was seen by tons and tons of YouTubers.
I actually really dislike that they have to keep censoring things and making it all super childish on YouTube, because it gets annoying, especially when you're talking about serious topics.
Including the one and only Pyrocynical. For those unfamiliar, Pyro is a YouTuber who has been actively making videos for a long time, with him originally making montage parodies, then Leafy is Here style gameplay commentary videos, and then eventually switching up to a more varied content style, featuring both reviews, video essays, and general comedic videos, looking at and riffing off topical subject matter. These videos were well edited and pretty entertaining. However, the main channel ended up becoming more and more focused on high-effort video essays, so the commentary videos were moved to his livestream channel, which is where most of his content's uploaded now. The content style now includes footage from either a stream clip or an individually recorded video, with minimal editing about current subject matters. This content strategy is basically what has won YouTube in recent times. However, my personal experience comes in when Pyro made a reaction video to my Unalive video, titled TikTok is Changing.
I don't know why you would have to use a personal example for it. I mean, it doesn't look good on your end, because it kind of just looks like you're slighted by it.
Language. This is an hour 38-minute stream clip of him watching my video, which the original is only 40 minutes long for context. When I was alerted of this, I was beyond excited, and I sat down with my friends to see what he would say about my video. And to preface my criticism, I don't want to come off as criticizing these creators as people, or their character in the slightest. This is just a critique of the content that they produce. That being said, this video was kind of hard to watch in my personal opinion. Not in a way that it was cringe or misrepresented myself, but just kind of hard to watch because there was a lot of rambling and so many distractions, and very little focus placed on the subject matter at hand, which again, this video is nearly unintentional.
Well, I mean, first of all, it's a live stream, and then, yeah, sometimes they leave it in the shorter edited things, but that's the point of the creator. That's specifically why you would choose that creator, their personality.
Hour longer than the video that's being reacted to. This definitely isn't the case with all stream clips, as not every creator is as distracted, but the formula is often long YouTube videos presented as if they are their own independent video. They often end up being a well-established creator sitting there and watching someone else's video, pausing it every 10 seconds, commenting on something, and then continuing. That's kind of all these videos are. However, as a creator, it's
If that's kind of all they are, then why did you mention gaming videos?
not actually a bad thing to have a big YouTuber make a reaction video to your content. YouTubers like Tuv have completely had their careers launched by Moist Critical watching their videos on stream, which is something I would personally welcome with open arms. However, a lot of the time these videos are presented as if they aren't just reaction videos, with vague and interesting titles and really good thumbnails, making them seem like much more than.
Well, if you think about it, reactions are commentary. We don't need to title it reaction.
They actually are. This might not seem like a problem since, sort of clickbaity thumbnails and titles have been a thing forever, but this is kind of an issue because it could take views from the people interested in the topic of the original video, and further oversaturates YouTube with very similar content, making it harder for new original creators to be seen. But again, this is only an issue if the person reacting to the video doesn't add very much. In many cases, I completely understand why this content caters to so many people. Commentary can be very interesting when the person
It's always interesting.
doing it is adding new info or their own unique perspective to the mix. However, the issue
Oh wait, no way. You put Papa God in here. Damn.
comes in when they're getting constantly distracted by text-to-speech, talking about things that are completely unrelated to the video, or, you know, not really saying anything at all. In many cases, the original video is already pretty long, so listening to it in the background while you're doing something else isn't a bad option. Just to be clear, I'm not criticizing the commentary community who does stream clips and stuff like that. My issue is only with the content that claims to be commentary but hardly says anything about the media it should be reacting to. If I want to watch a commentary video, I want commentary that's focused on the topic of the video. A lot of the time, people use these long videos.
Well then, I mean, find the creators that talk about it. If you can't, then make your algorithm find it. That's all we can really say. People watch what they want to watch. If that's the content they want to watch, they watch it.
Listening material while they're doing other things like gaming, cleaning their rooms, or drawing, or any other task that takes up a lot of time. There's an appeal to seeing how your favorite content creator will react to a video, especially if it's a video that you've already seen. If you're indeed a big fan of these people, then their input can definitely be transformative for you. However, like I said earlier, this sort of content's just not really for me. Interestingly enough, in recent times, a lot of these content creators have started referring to their stream clips as slop, and they've basically embraced the term, as it spreads more and more throughout the internet.
Me at the top. I am the king of slop. I have 30 plus. I know I do. I should be there. At least in sloppy seconds, if not the king of slop. I am the king of slop.
Someone made a video on Slop Live. How much slop is in a Paralive video?
At least in Pyrocynical's case, he claims that
Man, this guy's always just trying to have fun with it.
slop content is there to fund the main channel videos, which are incredibly high effort and high budget videos. So he just kinda does the slop on the side to help with the production of his main stuff, which makes sense. However, stream clip re-uploads aren't the only type of quote-unquote slop consumed by the masses. One of the most successful genres are commentary drama channels. To make a brief distinction, there's a difference between a commentary channel like Scott Kramer, Eddie Burback, or Danny Gonzalez. Creators like this are often regarded as commentary channels.
I mean, there's not much of a difference because some drama channels still do normal commentary topics. That's just how it is.
But a different commentary from what we're discussing today. Drama commentary channels often upload on a near daily basis, covering the topical news and online culture. These channels are often in a mad dash to be the first to cover something topical, whether or not their information is correct.
Well, yeah, that's a bit different, but that's not specifically drama. Well, that's not specifically a drama channel. That's not what you would categorize it as at all.
And also whether or not there's additional information to give. They will cover the same topic.
Like, it's in the sphere, it's just, that's not, you're generalizing too many channels together. That's all I'm trying to say.
Over and over and over again until they can no longer profit from it, leading to them to switch to the next hot topic. With legacy YouTubers like Moist Critical and Some Ordinary Gamers being at the top of the quality food chain. Beneath them, creators from the 2020s baby boom reign supreme, often being young men with a pretty deep understanding of current internet culture. These videos are often somewhat minimally edited, with gameplay footage serving as the majority of the visuals, with it sometimes switching to footage critical to the video's narrative, or the creator's avatar or profile picture. Oftentimes, these videos follow a very loose script, and in some cases, no script at all, but the creator just kind of
I don't really agree with that because there's many cases where it's fully scripted.
recapping someone else's video on a topic at hand, giving sparse personal opinions and commentary. Now, to clarify, despite the simplicity of this content, the vast majority of its entertainment value is determined by the personality of the creator, because otherwise, in a lot of cases, the information between videos doesn't really vary too much. Granted, creators like Mutahar of Some Ordinary Gamers put a lot of research into his videos, and despite their length sometimes feeling a little stretched out in my personal opinion, you'll still come out of it with some decent information. Then we have creators like Critical, who, granted, have had some moments.
Wait, then why did you put him in the thumbnail and slop? Just saying you still have him in the thumbnail or slop. You had it in the original, now you have it in this one.
In which misreporting has taken place generally make videos with decent information that's carried by the personality that they portray. I'll be completely honest, I'm not a fan of Critical's drama videos, and the naming conventions also drive me a bit crazy.
This is so the worst weirdest movie of the year just came out. Lived up to the movie of the year. Made another huge scandal. Doesn't even compute. I know you.
But the thing is, his other content I do find pretty fun to watch. Although I honestly feel as though his older stuff was kind of better. Now, as of the time
This just seems like a useless critique.
writing this, the hot news for the past 2 months has been on Mr. Beast and the many allegations thrown initially against his crew member and longtime friend Ava Chris Tyson, and later direct allegations of neglect, faking
That stuff is just a big mess, and you should really look into it.
videos, workplace abuse, among many other allegations, most of which alleged by Dogpack 404. Upon all of this news breaking, these drama channels raced to their computers to bang out as many Mr. Beast cancellation videos as humanly possible, and it absolutely worked. A fantastic example of this drama slot machine in full work is a YouTuber by the name of More Pegasus, which is the second channel to the already immensely successful Pegasus. This person's uploaded over 15 videos that all roughly have the same thumbnail, title, and editing style. These videos got insane numbers, so obviously continue to make more and
No, he's fair to critique. He's fair to critique. He's just funny.
more of these videos, which has likely made him tens of thousands of dollars. In a video addressing his criticism, Pegasus claims that he's not milking the situation, and that rather he was just covering every new situation as it arose, and that he's just operating as any other news station would, making frequent uploads. However, a lot of these said updates on the stories were by no means worth making incredibly long videos on a topic that could have been like 5 minutes or less. People have caught on to this guy and have given him a lot of criticism for his milking of the drama, but he continues
Which he kinda deserves.
defend his content and claim it's not slop. Which it's like, whatever man. If I were in the same spot and I wasn't so caught up on the topics of the videos that I produce, I'd be doing the exact same thing. And I think the majority of people would in this situation. But here's the issue. Dogpack is definitely not a reliable narrator. Dogpack videos very effectively craft a narrative that isn't fully true, and he's been justifiably called out for a lot of this. However,
Yeah, Dogpack is one of the more dangerous ones. He's actually a really good one to critique, and could make a really good argument if you make a long form one on him, like a long form section on him.
Pegasus doesn't really seem to care enough to actually check whether or not the information that's being alleged is true before he parrots it. Clearly, getting the facts right doesn't matter when you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars off ad revenue alone, and you're most likely set for life.
Better, faster, cheaper. Everybody knows you can only pick two. That's the way it's always been.
I want to be clear that this is neither a personal blow at Pegasus or a defense of Mr. Beast. I just think it's really important that the message that you spread is 100% true, especially when you're spreading it to millions of people. Lots of other YouTubers within this niche have had their go at Mr. Beast as well, to differing levels of quality. YouTubers like Turkey Tom have made some videos on the topic that have the due diligence of really looking into the sources, while a lot of other channels have just parroted and recapped Dogpack's videos. Even if they aren't particularly saying that everything said in Dogpack's videos is true, lots of these videos just provide very little actual value or information, and just kind of repeat information that you can just go
Cam Nugget's been being called out on some wild stuff lately, so yeah. The people who just parrot stuff, they're not the best. You should really be trying to get the most value out of their content.
the source to. Like, if you want to learn what's in Dogpack's videos, and then see the opposing arguments and things that he got wrong, you might as well just watch the original video, instead of a bunch of guys just recapping it and adding nothing but some, lame visuals to keep you from falling asleep. Not to say that you should take the Dogpack videos, or any major allegation videos, as fact, but honestly, if you value your time, just watch the original and search out additional information. Or hell, just watch another YouTube video like the Tom Dark one, or something along those lines. What the majority of these people will do is take a fresh controversy, make multiple videos, always over 8 minutes long, so they can profit more from it, and then upload new videos every
Yeah, you can always keep it over the mid-rolls. Always keep it over the mid-rolls. That's how you make money.
There's a new piece of information on the drama, no matter how small this new detail may be. You'd think that people wouldn't really watch this kind of content, since many of these videos are just kind of saying the same thing as everybody else over and over again, but no, this content's actually very successful, which is why there's truly so much of it. My best guess is the majority of the audience is either on the younger side, leading to their standards for the videos that they consume to be lower, or it's just people who don't really want to put the effort into finding whether or not a video provides solid information, and rather
A lot of people don't want to put effort in. I understand it.
just clicking because of the alluring thumbnails and titles. And I'm not, critiquing that. That's completely understandable, especially if you're someone who isn't fully invested and just kind of wants to learn the general idea of what's going on. I think it's really important to actually clarify what exactly slop is, since it's a title given to a lot of different kinds of content, and it can definitely be kind of confusing.
Yeah, you have a bit specific at all with the genre.
In a lot of cases, the definition is almost subjective, but I'm going to try to segment it into different genres. Fundamentally, the idea of slop is something that provides little value and is just kind of there for people to mindlessly consume. But that doesn't mean that every creator who is described as slop particularly fits into this criteria. Stream clips are kind of different.
Slop is just click-based content. That's all. Like, quick manufactured content.
From the rest, and sort of need their own category. The way I see stream clips, they're kind of hard to place into a category, since at least from what I've been told, streaming isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world, and does require a good amount of effort and hard work while you're live. And the experience of a stream is so different to just watching a YouTube video, so I think that most streams don't really count as slop. However, on the other hand, the streams being re-uploaded to YouTube as their own independent videos is where things start to get a little gray. It's pretty complicated, because the idea of transformation has to be set up. Reaction videos where someone just kind of watches a video in full
Okay, but that's not all reaction videos. I mean, Nate Fleming, he pauses a lot, so check him out, and then that's it. That's an entertainment reaction that actually has value and transformation.
are pretty heavily criticized and are often sort of regarded as content theft, and for good reason. But then videos where someone does watch a video, talks a lot, and just doesn't get to the point, that's also considered slop. So, I don't know. The way I view it personally is that there's kind of an in-between point. You should stay on topic and talk about the video, but also give your input pretty frequently. Especially if it's someone who's watching something and disagrees with it. It's good to have that perspective kind of going against a video, and that makes for a good viewing experience. And then on the other hand, if you just have someone who's kind of sitting there and going, yep, he's right, that's very true, then, I don't know, it feels kind of just like nothing content. The most commonly regarded
Oh yeah, but I mean, they wanted to watch it. They wanted to react to it. If they at least transform it, that's good. If they just sat there and said nothing, then yeah, that's that.
genre is drama commentary. We've already covered its shortcomings and downfalls, but is it really fair to call all of it slop? Well, you know, it's undeniable that videos that milk subjects and misreport things are undeniably slop. But what about the videos that do the due diligence of research and have journalistic integrity, but are still made in a way that's undeniably low effort in terms of the actual video production of it? Even in the case where a video has all the right
Udahar is not low effort. Why are you showing him? That's misinformation. That's actually kind of disingenuous. You shouldn't do that.
performance in line, a lot of people still stretch the length of the video to get as much profit as possible. So a lot of the actual time spent in the video isn't really providing the viewer with too much information. To combat this, multiple YouTube channels have popped up that essentially very quickly summarize these videos to save the viewer's time. One of the main ones being ChadCat, who will take a video, show some messages explaining the conversation, with the Discord notification sound between each one. Another one who basically does the same thing is one by the name of In a Nutshell. I personally enjoy these channels, however, I think that they're not completely useful in every situation. For a lot of the smaller dramas and popular videos, these summaries can be a great way to get caught up on the general idea of the info.
They can be a great way to get caught up, for sure, but they don't always have the best information.
But in some cases, the videos that get summarized kind of need to be watched in full, and I think absolutely do get lost in translation through the summary. But back to the main question at hand. Does this stuff count as slop? It's honestly really hard to say. And I also believe it's definitely a matter of perspective, but also the topics being covered in the first place. If there's something that happened that has 40 to 50 minutes of actual viable, good, factual information, then I absolutely think that there's value in that, and I don't think that that's really slop in a sense. But also, slop, as most people define it, is just kind of a genre of video, and
Yeah, it's a genre.
it doesn't have to be inherently bad. From my point of view, what a lot of the
It's not inherently bad.
slop debate really boils down to is what the consumer gets out of the video that they watch. I could sit here and complain about how my Adobe Premiere timeline is so much more intricate and high effort and it took more time and I actually write scripts and blah blah blah, but really that's just menial at this point. And it's inherently my own personal bias and ultimately jealousy shining through, and that's really not what I'm trying to argue.
I mean, if you think about it, they write scripts and do that content, a lot of them. So think about it. They're putting in kind of more effort than you. Just saying. They're going live, and then they're also writing scripts on top of it, and then they're also doing daily at-home stuff. Like, you have to think about that. They're doing a lot more than just writing a script. You're just writing a script by your own words. So, I mean, you do the editing too, I'm sure, unless you pay an editor. I don't know, but I'm being genuine and saying that you edit them yourself. So I could give you that. A lot of them pay for an editor, so I could give you that.
Today. However, in my opinion at least, the way that you do boil down the quality of a YouTube video is the value that it gives you. Obviously, this is more person to person, but we're speaking broadly here. To give my own personal input, I love when a YouTube video changes my day, when it makes me feel something, when I see that the project was made with intent and passion, and that the person talking about it really cares and wants to make this video, right? And in all honesty, my favorite videos on YouTube aren't the ones that are the most well-edited or the most popular. They're the ones that make me feel something. They're the ones that you can tell have intent and care and passion put into them. And I think there's a decent amount of people who feel
But you can tell that with a lot of the other creators you put in this video. Oh my god.
similarly. Granted, what I find value in isn't what everyone else finds value in, and that's perfectly fine. I'm not trying to say it isn't. However, at least the way I've personally been seeing this content, and the way that my personal opinion and viewpoint has sort of evolved around it all, is that a lot of time with what people call slop content, it feels like something is missing. You can really tell that some of these people don't really care about what they're talking about, and that their videos are just kind of a means to an end, and that being profit. Which again, it's their job. It's not like you're going to tell someone, don't go to your work, you're not passionate enough. That's kind of ridiculous. But at the same time, I think viewers can generally tell when a video isn't made with intent and passion. If that's something that they look for in a video, of course. But hypothetically, if it were to all fade away and YouTube would revert to the way it was like 15 years ago, would the content that we're talking about today still be...
I mean, some of those streamers have passion in some of their videos. I mean, have you watched all of them? Probably not.
so prevalent? Would people upload daily about drama? Would people be so intent on being the first to break news? I really don't know, and I can't claim to know. But I do feel as though some of the people who make these sort of videos wouldn't anymore. I'm sure lots would, I'm sure lots are very passionate about what they do, but at the same time I feel like the majority of creators probably wouldn't make videos as they do and might just kind of move on to what they want to make personally, assuming that drama commentary isn't their kind of passion or calling or something like that, right? And let me be so crystal clear, I'm not trying to criticize people who make content for money. Not at all. I think that would be an insane criticism to make. As long as you aren't plagiarizing or spreading misinformation, I think we all deserve to have this platform and be able to make money from it. Like, be able to get that bag doing what you love. But I think love is also a big part of it. Is love still a part of it when content is...
I say in a lot of cases, yeah, and a lot of other cases, no, but, I mean, not really something to make a whole 40-minute video about.
Purely profit motivated. I think it's safe to say that a lot of types of kind of content farms don't have any love or passion put into them. You look at like L.I.L crap, I don't think anyone put an ounce of actual genuine vulnerability into that. I don't think they put any care.
I put some care into it. Like, shit. I was emotional in my fucking videos. Like, you can't say that about that situation. Like,
I think it's purely profit motivated and in a way that's exploiting people. Therefore, it is bad. Objectively, it is slop. But that's very, very different from what we're talking about now. But from talking to people and doing my own sort of self-reflection, I've kind of come to the realization that a lot of what this frustration that people have boils down to is the lack of passion, is that kind of lack of love that a lot of people can sense. I wouldn't say it's the only thing, but I think it is kind of an overarching theme that we're dealing with now. Again, everything that I've said in this video is just a criticism of content and not character. I'm sure most of these people who I've criticized are great people in real life. There are just issues with what they put out. What counts as
Not really. There's not much issues in the content you've shown, except for more Pegasus, for example. They have some issues, and then I'm Alex. You should have talked about them. They have a lot of issues.
slop. What slop is defined as really kind of
In their content. I'm Alex has some in personal too.
boils down to you, and I guess more importantly, what the overall groupthink of the internet considers it to be. But whether you like them or not, the commentary community that we see on YouTube does serve a purpose. When someone fucks up, they're there to cover it. But more importantly, when someone's being terrible, they are there to cover it. They are there to make sure that people know what's going on.
I'm working on the jar video. It's a deep dive, so that's why it's taking so long.
Obviously, as we've discussed before, there are shortcomings to this, but assuming we're not considering that into our discussion about this, there is definitely value these people hold. And whether or not you or me are personally invested in internet drama, they serve a purpose. Not everybody in the community, but a lot of them, you know? Lots of them have their place on YouTube. But you know what does?
Yeah, I'd say most of them have their place on YouTube.
Have a place on YouTube? AI slop. Throughout 2024, AI-generated media has absolutely taken over the internet, to the point where you can barely look.
This is a great one. This is actually a great one to critique. This one is actually great to critique. I am actually glad that you brought this one up. AI slop is awful. Like, I've been finding it in my recommended. Like, this is actually a problem. This is something you should have made a whole video about. The 40-minute video should have been about that, not all this other stuff. Honestly.
Up anything anymore without some soulless glossy piece of AI slop thrown in there. This, unfortunately, is no different on YouTube, with tons of clearly AI generated videos filling up the platform. But generally, long-form AI content didn't do too well since it wasn't exactly watchable enough yet. However, automatically generated and uploaded shorts have reigned supreme for a concerning amount of time now. Generally, these videos will have some sort of mind-melting video game footage like Subway Surfers gameplay or Minecraft parkour or something of the sort, playing in the background while an AI voice reads
I can't watch that stuff.
a Reddit post, while obnoxious captions fill the screen with nearly every word. Of course, this is by no means the only kind of AI slop that does well, but it's definitely one of the best performers. There are literally tutorials that show you.
I didn't even know that was AI though, to be fair. that wasn't even what I was thinking about. I was thinking about the stuff that's spreading misinformation with an entire AI scripts, an entire AI voice, and an entire AI thumbnail, and then an AI generated title. Like, those are a problem.
You can make one of these channels, and once you set it all up, it takes very, very little effort to actually make these videos, and once it is all set up, you're basically good. Just let the views and ad rev flow in. I hate this so much. I think it has no value, no intent, and it's literal slop in every sense of the word. It's content that you watch and then immediately forget once you see.
No value, no intent, but hey, it's good content.
Next short. It's honestly kind of disgusting. You're likely familiar with this type of thumbnail. These weird cartoon recap videos that feature a white background with a character on the left and text on the right. I personally really don't like this style of thumbnail, which is why
Sorry about that. Sorry. Let me rewind.
You're likely familiar with this type of thumbnail. These weird cartoon recap videos that feature a white background with a character on the left and text on the right. I personally really don't like this style.
I haven't seen those.
Of thumbnail, which is why I made the thumbnail of this video in that style. You get it, whatever. Anyway, if you've seen this thumbnail but refuse to watch the videos no matter how much they showed up, they're basically just recaps of cartoon episodes and plot points that have a vague connection to the title of the video. It's real, hot, stinky garbage slop. But it does
I've never seen that content, so.
incredibly well, which pains me. It's painful to see this, honestly. And I'm personally someone who is very subject to injury, unfortunately. Which is why I'm actually very happy to have partnered with Morgan and
Hold on. What is my recommended? Because, like, I've never seen that content. I'm actually interested in hearing that. Because L.I.L Chocolate and Trippy, I love those artists. Yeah, I watch food reviews. Is he just trying to avoid all the controversy around him? Okay. And he, oh, and anyway, yeah, not the type of content. That's a first. That's actually a first. Okay, I stand corrected, but that's a first. I've never had that before. This video made that recommended. I've never had that before. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair.
America's largest injury law firm. Here's the thing. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. But people often get very, very lowballed by insurance companies who don't have their best interest in mind. However, with Morgan & Morgan, there's a chance you could get millions of dollars from your injury, because Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle for lowball offers. Hell, they've achieved significant verdicts in the last couple of months for victims involved in life-altering car crashes. Like 12 million in Florida, which is 34 times the highest insurance offer. Or 26 million in Philadelphia, 40 times the highest insurance offer. And 6.8 million in my beautiful home city of New York, which is 25 times the highest insurance offer. I'm telling you, your case could be worth millions, and even if it isn't, Morgan & Morgan will fight for the biggest award possible. If you become their client. Because let's just say, they're the biggest for a reason, right? It only takes a few minutes to see if you have a case, and you can do it all online. Oh, and here's my favorite part, right? Their fee is absolutely free unless you win. There are zero upfront costs. Essentially, they'll only get paid if you get paid. You can click the link in the description and go to www.forthepeople.com/Raymundo and a massive...
I've heard about Morgan & Morgan. I don't know how good it is. I would have to research it. But I know a lawyer himself promotes it, which, yeah. Bruce Rivers is his name. He's a well-educated lawyer from what I've seen.
Thank you to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. But it gets even worse. As of late 2024, channels have been popping up that steal long-form content almost exactly, but they change it up just enough to make it different. I'm actually a direct victim of this myself. Here, let me show you how. So, to make it brief, in March of 2024, I uploaded a video about Disney World and some of the more tragic things that have happened there, alongside the more lighthearted and spooky urban legend stuff. I grew up with videos talking about Disney deaths.
I mean, if you're working on the same research, it's probably going to be pretty similar of a video. It might even be near the same if they're going in the order of events. You can't really put that on the creator. I would have to see both videos before I can make a full judgment on this situation.
Urban legends. But in retrospect, so many of them felt very disrespectful to the victims in the way that they were portrayed, portraying these tragedies as spooky, creepypasta-like stories, and not addressing them with the respect that the victims deserve. So I decided to make a video like those I was so fond of growing up, that actually tries to be respectful and honor the victims. I also mixed it up by going to the parks at the end, and going to the spots that allegedly had these specters and ghosts. It's a good video, but more importantly, it has wide appeal. So someone, I don't know who, watched
Okay, you're glazing yourself a bit.
Video and decide that they want to make one themselves. Imitation is the purest form of flattery, so what's the problem? Well, they didn't write a unique script and make their own video about things that they found interesting. No. They seemingly threw my script into ChatGPT, told it to rewrite it, and then add some AI software,
Okay, if that's true, that's messed up.
edit and splice everything together. I was made aware of this when a buddy of mine sent me a link to this tweet by the internet
I mean, I've done that for school, but that's just messed up.
anarchist, which shows that they also completely stole the thumbnail and just made it look way worse. Initially, I was shocked by how blatant this was, but I decided to give it a chance, not knowing the actual contents of the video. And believe it or not, the video covers every single thing that I talked about, but it just has zero soul. It's like a top 10 list, but worse. And the editing is all stock footage, which I hate to see personally. When looking at the channel, you'll see it was their first time making anything of that style, with the rest of their videos being top 15 style videos of animals attacking each other in most cases. Through this wild animal footage, the channel amassed 722,000 subscribers. However, their last animal-related video was uploaded 6 months prior to the creation of this video, with the Disney knockoff being released in October. 2 days after they stole the Disney video, he stole another video, this one being from YouTuber Ryan Pictures. The original video is called When One False Accusation Ruins a YouTuber's Life. The slop copy is called How One False Accusation.
So now we're talking about the, okay. Yeah, they're going over multiple situations.
Destroyed a YouTuber's life. Interesting. What's likely happening here is that the channel was likely sold to someone who paid a lot for a channel with close to 1 million subscribers, and is now stealing content in the hopes that he can profit. But luckily, these videos are flopping.
If that's true, that is kind of diabolical, honestly. But at least they invested money into themselves. I mean, that's what you gotta do. You gotta hustle.
I hope whoever runs this account now looks at those gray arrows and cries himself to sleep. Now, these videos suck, but they won't for long. I fear that we're inching closer and closer to a reality where AI-generated soulless slop will become harder and harder to suss out. And I really fear that channels like this will take good videos from small channels, rewrite them in ChatGPT, then shit out a garbage copy of someone else's hard work. I genuinely think that this theft is reprehensible, and I think more people should call it out, given the damage.
People should call that out. That is very much an issue. Not the issue I pointed out before, but that is an issue. So you should have just made a whole video about this. This is what you should have made a video about.
It does to not only the individual creators who are having their work stolen, but to YouTube itself and its trajectory. This is definitely a problem that goes far beyond YouTube, and is still a huge problem here nonetheless. AI content is something to be aware of, and if you're as sick of it as I am, I recommend hitting do not recommend whenever you see one of these channels show up in your recommended. Now, when this video was conceptualized,
I didn't even know you could do that, and I watched YouTube my entire life, basically, so that's surprising.
Idea to reach out to some of the people who I've met who are in the commentary community. This interview isn't about grilling them on the things that they've done wrong in the past, but rather just a guy-to-guy talk about the work that we make. Without further ado, this is Sensitive Society and a Cheeto. So I'm here with the one and only Sensitive Society to get his opinion on everything that's being talked about.
Hi, thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
What is it like to make drama commentary? What is the creative process and the research and all those sort of things?
Truth be told, to get a little backstory, the reason why I have a channel in the first place is because I really like the idea of just a random guy saying whatever's on his mind. I'm just an everyday guy.
Yeah, I respect that, and people should be able to do that. I don't really have a problem with Sensitive Society, honestly. He's a good creator, and his name is ironic. He's not really sensitive at all.
Who sees something and he's interested in the topic, whatever it is, whether it's something serious or goofy like we're seeing with KSI and Lunchley and everyone treating it like it's World War III, and I think it's hilarious. It's not that serious.
No, it really ain't that deep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm wondering also, what is the research process like for these videos?
Whatever situation's going down, I whether I see it on Twitter, Reddit, whatever, then I start looking into where it's coming from and trying to make sure I have the story as accurate as possible. If it's something on Twitter, I just don't read the headline and I grab my microphone and get to it.
Right.
I try to look into it, look for other tweets, similar tweets, and then, Google that and then see if there's articles written about it. Just trying to cover everything, and, there's always two sides to a story.
How do you feel about
Yeah, what he's saying is a respectable way to go about it.
the slop label? Does it hurt your feelings, or are you just kind of like, it's a job, or I don't know, what's your input?
Really doesn't hurt my feelings, to be honest. I do think, I don't want to sound like the nerd emoji here, but and be like, technically, guys, but I do think there's definitely some channels out there that are like the definition of flop, and I know that's rage coming from me, but I don't know, I think there's a difference, and between, I guess, channels like Pyro or me or Critical or, you know, whoever else, and then there's like an other subgenre of channels that is no different than the brain rot channels that they, you know, talk about.
How much time does it generally take to make a sensitive society video?
So nowadays, because they're longer and I don't upload every day,
Honestly, I have no issues with what Sensitive Society is saying, and I pretty much agree with what he's saying so far.
It takes a little longer from start to finish, probably like 2 to 3 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's once I have the topic locked down, because I'm usually looking for a hot minute.
I don't really see how this is different from his previous videos. Kind of the same points, kind of the same stuff. I mean, I think it's just the same video so far. It says it's longer, but I mean, there's still a lot of stuff to be said, so I'm saying it.
Yeah,
So
no,
once
that's
I have
fair.
a topic locked down, then from start to finish, it probably like, between 2 to 3 hours.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, I think that's all my questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, appreciate you, dude.
My stepsister humiliated me in front of everyone.
So, I now have the pleasure to talk to the one and only Cheeto. Welcome.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Of course, yeah. What is the creative process for kind of putting together one of your videos, and what's kind of the
Cheeto is someone you can definitely critique.
timeline of the creation of it?
Yeah, so what I used to do, and I try...
Also, I've been in a call temporarily that had a Cheeto in it. He was muted the entire time. I had a question for him, but he was muted, so I couldn't ask it. So I just asked my question to Turkey Tom and then Smaggle. A request from Smaggle, actually.
Not to do this anymore is I'll try to balance...
I don't know if that live is still up, but it was on a live video. I was on a broken phone, so my mic wasn't good.
something that I am interested in talking about with something that people are interested in hearing about, whereas maybe, 2 years ago, it was more so just like, all right, well, what do people want to hear about? And I'll just make the video knowing that even if I don't really care about what I'm saying or what I'm talking about, that at least some people will.
Right.
And now I try to balance something that I find interesting and can talk about extemporaneously with something that I think people will genuinely be interested in, right? Because I could talk for hours about like YouTube itself, like the internal workings of it, because that's something that I'm super interested in, but no one wants to hear that, right? They're more interested in like, did Dream poop today or something like that, right? Like whatever the fucking flavor of the day drama slop is, right? But at the same time, right, I don't really want to talk about the Dream pooping stuff anymore. I want to talk about like, stuff I actually find interesting.
Right.
Also, I'm probably part of the reason why Turkey Tom released his video about Leo Convoy. Sorry, Leo.
Maybe, 2 years ago, it was more so just like, all right, well, what do people want to hear about? And I'll just make the video knowing that even if I don't really care about what I'm saying or what I'm talking about, that at least some people will.
Right.
And now I try to balance something that I find interesting and can talk about extemporaneously with something that I think people will genuinely be interested in, right? Because I could talk for hours.
I mean, fair, but there's stuff to critique in your videos. Just saying. I might make a video about Cheeto. I don't know. I don't have too much of an issue with Cheeto, but there is problems with some of his content. I don't know if it would be fair to make one, so I'm probably not. But it's interesting because there's stuff to critique about him. Not harsh criticisms, just genuine critique.
About like YouTube
it's enough to make a video about.
Like the internal workings of it, because that's something that I'm super interested in, but no one wants to hear that, right? They're more interested in like, did Dream poop today or something like that, right? Like whatever the fucking flavor of the day drama slop is, right? But at the same time, right, I don't really want to talk about the Dream pooping stuff anymore. I want to talk about like, stuff I actually find interesting.
Right.
And just finding that balance, So that's sort of like my creative process, right?
So you've incentivized more so what you actually want to put out rather rather than just only what audiences want to see, essentially.
Yeah.
I also want to ask too, how do you feel about the label of slop that is often thrown around? Do you feel it's an accurate descriptor, or do you think it kind of, isn't exactly that?
Well, when people say it, I think a lot of people don't they don't mean it to be rude or anything.
Yeah.
And so
They typically don't. They typically mean it as a genre.
I never take it as like personal. Like I never care if someone's like, oh, that's slop. Like who gives a fuck, right? Do I think it's accurate? I think it depends, because I think every channel is different. But overall, like, there are things that I think that there's a list with boxes that you check, and the more boxes you check, the more, I guess, slop you can be considered.
Mm-hmm.
I think as times
I agree. I agree. There's levels to the slop. Why do we call it this? Why do we call it this? Like, honestly, why do we call this content slop? This is quick-based content. Like, you can put it right on a platter.
past, I've unchecked some of those boxes. Like I've sort of made the goal
For the cash pigs to watch and feast upon
to shift away from game
and donate. But that's basically why, I think that's basically why they call it slop.
play, which I think a lot of people use because it's easy. They can like basically maximize the time between when the headline drops and when their video comes out by using gameplay.
Yeah.
And I've tried to basically not have that pressure of like I have to be the first to a topic. Like I can sort of talk about things that are older or newer depending if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I like try to do face cam and stuff now. But I mean, overall, am I like still a slop channel? Do I still talk about things that are menial and useless? And are my videos like essays that are well edited and well thought out? I don't have a script. A lot of it's just off the dome. So yeah, I guess it's fairly.
Yeah, that's a critique. That's definitely a critique. I learned you shouldn't do that within the start of my career. Like, literally within the start of my career, I learned you should script your videos.
Accurate. I'd say it's like 70% accurate for my channel.
Not really career, but, this will be a career eventually. So when people watch upon this video later in time, career. When people watch it now, channel.
Gotcha.
Then obviously for some it's like 80-90%. For some it's like 50-40%. But yeah, I mean, I don't care. Like I don't get offended by it.
Mind. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's not out here hurting your feelings and stuff like that.
Not one bit. No, I don't give a.
Good.
Because people still like it. I mean, like I think the best comparison I've ever heard, and I don't know who made this, but this was actually said about like React content, like Asmongold sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it still sort of applies to like commentary.
I like Asmongold. I personally like him.
Whatever is that it's sort of fast food content, and there's a market for that. Like in the restaurant world, in the world of cuisine, there.
Also, I found him through his video going over the one video about the Board 8's Yacht Club. The deep dive into that and its actual dark meaning. It's actually kind of funny. It's spiritual sounding, but it's actually interesting. A video it actually goes very deep into it, and within a lot of it seems pretty spot on. I'd say it's a good video to check out. Yeah, I found Asmongold through his video on that because he has, and I subscribed from that because he had a lot of information about meme culture I didn't know about the Pepe stuff I didn't know about. He's just a lot more internet culture than I was at that time, which is surprising. But yeah.
Places you'll go to on a nice night to get dressed up for your anniversary for, like Michelin food. And then there's 3 a.m. food when you're fucking stoned that you can get on DoorDash. And it's like, they all serve a purpose. It's hard to compare one to another because they serve different purposes.
Yeah.
And the best way I can put this is like, there's certain YouTube videos that you're doing a disservice to by watching them on your phone. Like you should be watching them on your television.
Yeah.
My videos are not like that at all. They're meant to be watched when you're like on the bus ride home.
I disagree because some people can't watch it on their television all the time. I mean, you have people who don't even have room on their Xbox to download YouTube. You have some people who don't have room to download YouTube on other systems, and there's reasons to it. It's not doing a disservice to watch it on a phone. I completely disagree with that. You're just being nitpicky with that one, Cheeto. I disagree with
from
that.
school on your phone and there's an argument in the background, but you use headphones to drown it out, right? Like it's not high quality, you know, and I don't care, but it's like I certainly wouldn't get offended by it. You know, I know what my role is in the YouTube ecosystem, and I think other people should as well, you know.
That's interesting. I like that you know your niche, right? That's a good perspective to have. Great, awesome. Thank you so much, man. I think that's all my questions. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
I think Cheeto said it best with the dining example. There's really not anything I have to add to that, but it's some pretty good insight.
The truth is, behind closed doors, the P word became my secret sin at age 10.
And now you know the perspective on the entire thing.
Why am I getting so many ads?
This slop problem transcends just AI and false information through means of lazy content, and it's present in a lot of different genres. For example, with video essays. A big YouTuber by the name of Moon is responsible for making really well-produced, constant pessimistic slop that provides nothing but negativity and doom when discussing most topics. He's also been responsible for lots of plagiarism, like when he very directly ripped off Overlord Gaming's Reddit video, Jack Saint's Wonka video. He's freebooted on multiple occasions where he basically just takes someone else's video.
Okay. This seems like a very short session. I remember a Chud interview with Raymundo. Chud and him talk, and Moon seemed like the main point of his video. Why is it so short of a section in such a long video?
Rewrites it just enough for it to be different and then makes a worse version of the original, but does end up crediting them in the description. There's a lot. But he's too much of a can of worms to cover today. Rather, I intend to make a full video that's dedicated to Moon and his shortcomings, as I feel his cult of personality is really harmful for not only the viewers who religiously consume his content, but also just for the platform as a whole. But again, video for another time. So, smash that like button and subscribe if you want to see it. I almost feel as though slop as a label is a little too polarizing, as there is absolutely an issue here with these things, but it's all kind of put under this one wide umbrella, which doesn't really help us define what's going on here. But
there's subgenres in that umbrella, but I mean, I guess that's a fair critique. Yeah, that's fair.
I feel as though what I've done here in kind of having different genres of slop is the best way to go, as it really isn't that simple. Not every stream clip is slop, not every drama commentary video is slop, every AI generated video is slop, but, you know.
Yes, that's fact. That's fact.
I don't think that's much of a hot take. But saying videos that have no value, quote-unquote, is slop, it's very subjective. Because, in a sense, what does have value? Is only educational content not slop? Is only advocism-based content not slop? Is only, like, cooking videos not slop? I don't...
No, some of those can be slop too. I'm sorry, but some of those are click-based content. Some of them are click-based and manufactured. Like, it's manufactured just means like man-made, put together real quick. Like it's not really put in with the direct, deep passion of the person. Like the deep interest of the person, which is a good critique, and you've made it in this video. It's just, I mean, let people cover what they want to cover. And it's not really a big deal. Not for a 40-minute video.
And I don't subscribe to that line of thinking. Not every video has to be this transformative, amazing experience, but they should at least still try. There should still be effort and, like, care put into things. But also, not every video has to be like an hour-long video essay that's just going into a deep dive on some topic. Not at all. In fact, they can get a little overwhelming and annoying. Sometimes it's nice to just have some fun, silly content. That's perfectly good. To prop up video essays as this, like, better type of YouTube content isn't really accurate, as a lot of them themselves have a lot of issues and aren't very good. Listen, lots of them are really, really good.
Are you gonna bring up I'm Alex? Probably not. You don't go too deep into him, even though he would have been a perfect example of problems in the community. Just saying.
Some of the best videos I've seen on YouTube are video essays, but still, there are issues there. But ultimately, this whole situation is a lot more nuanced than a lot of the discourse portrays it to be. So, yeah, YouTube does have a slop problem, but it's an issue that transcends individual creators, and it's more based around the way that profit motives play into all of this, though it is undeniable that titles and thumbnails have gotten really stale and samey in recent times, and a lot of the popular content out there may not feel the same as it used to. The internet itself has changed very rapidly within the years post-lockdown, and in my opinion, it's kind of for the worse, and I think it all boils down to one word: content. Everything is content. Everything profitable is content. Art isn't...
I mean, I don't have a problem with people being lazy, but, like, you're critiquing other people for being lazy, and then you're just being lazy.
very profitable. Passion projects aren't very profitable, but pumping out a wide array of videos that are already subjects that are popular is profitable. The age of the individual is kind of dead and replaced with an algorithm that effectively tells us how to feel. And listen, I don't want to end this on a negative note, so I have some advice. If there's something that you don't like online, just don't interact with it. Don't leave a dislike, don't comment, don't do anything of the sort, since by doing that you're just fueling the production of more of it.
Is that seriously your take? No, no. Is that really your... Is that your end-all be-all take? That's actually gonna frustrate me. Don't say that's your end-all be-all take. That don't interact, don't leave a dislike, don't put in critique. Like, no. What? You're basically doing the same thing with this video. No, why would you say this? No, 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 no.
If you spam comment on AI slop videos telling them how much you hate AI slop, the algorithm's gonna see that and reward the AI slop. Hell, it's the same here. If you hated this video, don't interact with the video. It literally...
Didn't you say that there was a don't recommend? If they don't want to continue seeing the content, they don't recommend. But you don't have to tell them not to interact with the video. Like, jeez.
only serves to push it further. So on second note, yeah, actually do. If you hated this video, tell me all about how much you hated it. That sounds great. I also want to give a shout out to some content creators who I feel make really good and unique videos. Check out creators like Jaden Salads, Lula Loopsy, Is, Strange Eons, Scumbagovich, John X Woodcat, Debunk File, Maverick Files, Swanene, The Beak, Terror, Sournail, Danarade.
Wait, what was that one name? Wait, what was that name?
Algorithm's gonna see that and reward the AI slop. Hell, it's the same here. If you hated this video, don't interact with the video. It literally only...
Wait, hold on. First I want to say your video brought AI slop into my recommended. I have to say, I've never had that before. Your video brought that into my recommended.
It serves to push it further. So on second note, yeah, actually do. If you hated this video, tell me all about how much you hated it. That sounds great. I also want to give a shout out to some content creators who I feel make really good and unique videos. Check out creators like Jaden Salads, Lula Loopsy, Is, Strange Eons, Scumbagovich, John X Woodcat, Debunk File, Maverick Files, Swanene.
Swanene. I feel... I feel like that's an underlying racist name. Swanene. I like racist jokes, but I feel like that's a racist name. Honest to God. Like, Jesus.
The Beak, Terror, Sournail, Danarade, or any of the other hard-working, honest, high-effort independent YouTubers that are out there. You won't regret it. Watching their videos actually gives you something to work off, something to think about, and hell, even if it's just entertainment, I think it's really good entertainment. These people are great at doing what they do. With that said, I've been Raymundo2112, you've been a great audience, and I'll see you in the next one. If you're interested, the rest of this video will just be addressing the fact that this ain't my first time making a slop video, and I just want to make clear why the original was privated and share my side of the story. So...
It feels like you copy and pasted the same freaking video and then just added a little bit extra it doesn't feel like you created a second video at all. It feels like you just added to the first video. That's all. It doesn't feel like a separate video. I was hoping for like a rescript, new examples, deeper information. It was a longer video. I'm disappointed with how this video turned out. His response to everything turned out, because it's just basically a re-upload. It's basically a re-upload.
We need to talk.
We could have just
Like I just said a couple seconds ago, this is not my first time making a video about slop content. And there's a reason for that, which I'm excited to share with you. So in early October, I made a video called YouTube Has a Slop Problem, just like this one. But it wasn't actually just like this one. It wasn't the strongest video in the world. The first part of it was pretty similar to what you saw in the first part of this one. Then it got kind of unfocused and started talking about things that weren't fully related. It was presented in a way where, you know, it was an opinion piece that wasn't exactly fully stated to be one. And tonally it was like this angle of, oh, I'm the...
You're critiquing opinion pieces with an opinion piece. Do you realize how that sounds? Do you realize the hypocrisy in that? That is hypocritical.
Realizing this deep problem with YouTube, and no one sees it, and I'm so pissed off about this, which was a choice.
The opinion piece is bad, I'm gonna say.
Ladies and gentlemen,
like that's fine. That's just making content. That's most of it. But if you're directly critiquing the fact that people make opinion pieces, and then you yourself make an opinion piece, that is hypocritical. This video you made is hypocritical to the stance in it.
But regardless, the video comes out, and it's like the best performing video of all time, which is insane. And with that, a lot of criticism came. Really good criticism. Really bad criticism too, but, you know. But there was a lot of good and very solid points made against the video. I talked to other YouTubers, I went on some streams who all had a lot of things to say about it, and ultimately, after talking to people...
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen those.
Really hearing them out, I realized that my video wasn't up to my standards of quality, and that there were just lapses in its writing and its research, and just kind of the way that it was formatted, and it wasn't my strongest work. Granted, the video wasn't some horrible, atrocious mess, but it was a little too pointed and not nuanced enough in my opinion, and there were parts that just kind of fell flat, and so I decided to private the video, and I released a tweet and a community post, which you may or may not have seen. My mind has been changed a lot by actually talking to people in these communities. I've been given new perspectives, and have been able to just kind of...
And your video should have been about the new perspectives, at least. You should have made a long thing about your new perspectives. That's what this video should have been about. Or just made a video about the AI thing. Those are two things you could have done. You didn't need a full video that just honestly hurts your own credibility in the long run. It kind of does, to be fair.
Expand my viewpoint on everything. Does this mean I'm now personally fond of gameplay, commentary, daily upload videos? No, but I mean, does that really matter? I feel as though the video you just watched was a much better representation of what's going on. But yeah, really, the first one just didn't live up to what I really want to set standards for the content that I produce and what I show you guys, and the points that I make, you know? Now, a question people have been asking is, should we expect more sort of like drama-ish content from you?
I mean, I would be interested in that. That's the type of content I typically watch. So, if you do that, I might check out your channel. I don't know, I might have to check out what you upload. I don't know.
What I show you guys, and the points that I make, you know? Now, a question people have been asking is, should we expect more sort of like drama-ish content from you? And my answer is a hard no, because it's not what I'm about. So if you really wanted me to keep talking about slop content, I'm sorry, but it's not happening. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And now we're here. Got some really, really cool and exciting stuff coming up that I'm personally very invested and excited to show you guys. So Stay tuned for that. And of course, we can't end this video without thanking the patrons, because you guys are amazing, and you make this happen, and there are a lot more of you. Holy crap. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Enormous thanks to John Grob, Orcanus, Tortured Torchic, Dean Cribben, Buttboy, Guillermo Rivera, Stephen I, Galtatrial, Shadows Big Nuts, Sonic Nitro 86, The Mela Experience, Mad_90, Idaila Aquila, Rogue Reflex, Azizi, and Cystix. Thank you guys so much. You're helping this channel happen. You're helping Polybius happen, which is my band, which you should check out.
That's actually cool. You're named it after that like gaming creepy pasta. That's cool. I actually like that. That's interesting.
And I really deeply appreciate it. If you've watched till the end, thank you very much. I appreciate every one of you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for a Fortnite OG graphics retrospective. Alright, bye guys.
Okay, that was a... That video was disappointing. I was expecting new perspectives or something like an actual response, but there was no reason for that. There's no reason for that video. No reason for that. That's just a re-upload. That's just a re-upload. Jeez. The reason you didn't delete the video is because you were just gonna copy it and paste it into this. That's why you didn't delete it. You just privated it. Like, be honest. Okay, anyway. You didn't need to do the Shane Dawson exit with the kiss to the camera. You didn't need to do that, but see you guys next video. It'll probably be the Sunny Bear video and then the Just a Robot video. If not, then I'll probably do another coverage of a video first just to fill in the time while I do my research. Goodbye.